So welcome to another week in Brawl for Magic the Gathering, aka Too Many Sets, the card game. Don't know about you, but we just got Final Fantasy, now we're getting into Edge of Eternity. The pre-releases for Edge of Eternity are next weekend, so kind of crazy to keep up with all the different cards on Magic, unless you're a diehard grinder, and fortunately very few of us are capable of doing that. But one of the cards that I saw in various different things, and granted this is not a new card to Arena, Atraxa Grand Unifier, but Sephiroth the Savior. Now most Atraxa decks tend to be good stuff decks, and this one is no exception. It is a deck that, combines basically, if you could shove all the good stuff of everything but the red decks into one deck. This is pretty much it. The original list I saw included Temporal Mastery or whatever, the other Time Walk effect. Unfortunately, due to wildcard considerations, I did have to instead go with Part of the Water Veil. So other than that, this is 99 out of 100 somebody else's list, so I'm not going to take credit for building this list. But I mean, basically, if you take every good card in the 0, 1, 2 mana slots, you're going to see it. So you're going to see Delighted Halfling, Birds of Paradise, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Thoughtseize Duress, Wash Away, obviously kind of a staple in the format, Dark Ritual. Strix Serenade basically has replaced one mana other bird one that I can't remember off the top of my head that you used to see a play in a lot of things. You see it Swords to Plowshare, sometimes you'll see Path to Exile, Esper Sentinel, and then you just kind of go up the line. Good ramp, good interaction with the different counter spells, mana drain and counter spell, Flare of Cultivation, Cultivate itself, Black Market Connections, Ristic Study, obnoxious arena-only card, Oracle of the Alpha, but if you're going to play all the broken crap, you may as well put it all in one deck. Phial of Galadriel is a mana rock with some unique properties to it. Chromatic Lantern, obviously important in a 4-color deck. The Celestis card selection, Key to the Archive, obviously very powerful card on Arena. I wish they'd kind of do something like this for actual paper. But then you'd be getting into promos, and golly gee willikers, we know Wizards can't support promos. Rusco the Clockmaker. Basically, if there's an obnoxious or powerful card in these 4-color combinations, and it's non-aggressive based, you're probably going to see it. Some of the Planeswalkers are unique. You have Liliana, Dreadhorde General, Kaya, Intangible Slayer, etc. Coma is an interesting choice of a finisher, but is difficult to kill, can't be countered, and it has some powerful, unique abilities to it, especially if you start passing to your opponent and get indestructible for it. Immersion Ultimatum, you have so many great hits in this deck, including both Omniscience and One with Nature. Obviously, Primetime is banned in Commander, but it is very powerful in this format, and then so on and so forth. So, as we've said, basically if there's a good card, you're probably playing it. You have all three of the White Wrath, Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, Supreme Verdict. So, can't play with Ply Styles because then it keeps replacing this with Atraxa, even though I think this is already kind of a specialized version of the deck. So, we're probably going to be in Hell Q tonight. Just the nature of playing the broken stuff. I mean, last week we played Urza, and you just see all the broken stuff. So we may not win a lot, but we will cast a lot of good spells, and let's have some fun, shall we? Had a fun weekend playing Commander. Finally played the in-paper version of Cloud, the Naya Precon. Huge thanks to my lovely wife for getting that for me for my birthday. It's not the cheapest Precon to get, and It's pretty powerful. The only thing I really noticed with the deck is the land base is a little very tap land heavy for a deck that really wants to be kind of curving out. The Bant counters deck I played a little bit with Tidus. It's got some interesting things going on with it. Unfortunately, I think the one time I played it this weekend, it did some weird funky things because the mana was a little bit off. We're playing against Teferi, so basically control on control violence. We've got land drops. We don't have much in the way of ramp, but we might be able to find something with Meticulous Archive here. Yeah. What do I get with Rampant Growth here? Probably my second blue source. So opponent seems like they have a free spell. I would assume something like maybe Pact of Negation or something. Question is, do I just like keep jamming until they burn out of counter spells? It's kind of an annoying one. Let's go and play. Clearly they're holding on to interaction here, and I don't think much of it matters. Subtlety. Definitely leaving that on top. Nothing quite as exciting as a good old boredom on boredom match, control on control. So, Narset, sure. As much as I enjoy 12 minutes of paint drying, I think we'll just move on to the next one. I like playing Magic, not watch my opponent's solitaire deck as far as interaction. It's one of the things, like, as a Magic player, I don't necessarily mind playing control anymore, but I don't like control on control mirrors. And yes, I know that's like walking the same line in a lot of ways, but this hand's mana is absolutely terrible, so got mulligan. This hand's a little bit better. So you're up against Zavala. Probably want a Demir land. So I think the card we're most looking for here is some type of Wrath effect. Do I care about a card draw, or do I care about blowing up their stuff? Blue source and a white source. Mm-hmm. I think we're about to get infinite comboed here. Mm-hmm. Yep. Opponent's got infinite mana, and it just gets very boring from there. I wasn't honestly sure I've come across Staff of Domination much on Arena. So. Okay, Liliana LaVale versus Sephiroth. His hand is fine. Is mulliganing. Okay. So back to the Savala thing. I mean, you can try to leave like that's always one of the things with control decks. We could have left up Terra Sunder and maybe have used Omen Path as a way to break things up, or used Omen Path to have ramped with Chrome Mox. But at the same time, we didn't have mana drain up, so I felt like it was better to go from 3-4 mana, 3-mana land drop, play Chrome Mox, use Omen Path to get 2 basics, have the Overgrown Tomb in hand, and then the following turn slam Atraxa, and then kind of hope from there that, you know, if your opponent somehow has a bigger board or kills Atraxa with, say, some type of fight spell, then you, from there, sweep the board. Presumably you find a sweeper with, you know, your Atraxa and go from there. So. Opponent is a Golos deck. We are farmers. Dum 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 dum. Sand Ramp's pretty hard. We don't have a 2-mana Wrath, but we do get to go Cultivate into possibly a Wrath somewhere in here. So, I mean, there's a lot of hands that we just don't line up well against with Golos. But Golos has been a weird one because Golos seems like a deck that doesn't want to be playing counter spells, but I've been seeing some Golos decks lately that have played counter spells. So, I mean, so we need a blue source, blue black. So I think we're once again, I think we'll just get the or the Zaga since we can't get the actual blue black land. Vial of Faladriel. Chromatic Lantern. Possible they don't have a land drop. Kind of surprised that one resolved. Definitely feels like they're holding up some type of counterspell. Some type of counterspell confirmed. Ugin. Well, that's a little unfortunate. Okay, what do they have 4 mana for? Definitely need surveil lands. University sewers, perhaps. I think we'll leave that one on top. go ahead and prime time. They have yet another counter spell. Maybe the tail's in here. Yep, definitely don't want a they'll at least be able to exile the Primeval Titan, which is unfortunate, and then if they have yet another mana rock, they might be able to exile Black Market Connections. I think we'll go ahead and just do all three. Definitely don't have that many ways to kill a Eugene. This is one of the difficulties of the good stuff on good stuff deck. It's basically a draw for and put a land into play. They have another protect the... Oh, for crying out loud. I can't even target them with River's Rebuke. Okay, well, we'll try. Discarding here. Double land triggers. all the cards in hand. Give a hedge maze. Be a great way if we had a way to draw a card. We'll just go ahead and move on. We lose the battle of the ramp decks. Some ways I'm going to miss the Final Fantasy set after it's no longer the main thing. Although Out of Eternity does look unique with all the different space stations and everything else. So, and obviously the rule change, if you're not familiar, they're going to make space stations and legendary space stations and vehicles can be commanders now. Not just legendary creatures or specific planeswalkers, obviously in the face of this hand's just too slow. Bing. I'll keep it. Yep. Keegan's not going to be around for very long. Decent chance they have a protection spell here. Works for me. Okay, so we can play the Celestis, play a land, get the party going. If they take the time out to blow it up, then that's less mana they'll be able to play for Keenan. They're really considering countering that? That's very aggressive. We'll get one turn with, I don't know about unlimited mana, but pretty darn close. Interesting choice. Sure. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Time to send you back to the Stone Age, my friend. Obviously, we get blown out if they have Veil of Summer, but we can only do so much there, right? Effect, creature, land, and planeswalker. This land is just stupid. Alright, and our opponent concedes. It's one of those cards that I think I knew variants of them existed. I just didn't know that this card was quite a house as it is whenever it shows up. So... it's kind of interesting to see what passes for kind of Hell Q commanders with whether it's, we've seen Liliana, we've seen Teferi, we've seen Keenan, we've seen Golos, Yeah, it's interesting to see what's considered the upper echelon of some of these things. Taval, is this it's the milling Taval. Cannot keep the one lander no matter how powerful the thing is. This hand's a bit awkward, but we'll try it. Yeah. So we're gonna want a green source. Temple Garden is interesting. We already have an island, so it's either Temple Garden or I think we'll get Overgrown Tomb. I don't think we can count on. What can we even grab? Yep, we can grab Overgrown Tomb. Mix Weaver, sure. File of Ladriel. Sure. Yuck. I think we really need a Wrath this turn. Just sack these two most likely. Funny part is, I think we just die even if we find a sweeper because we don't have the white mana to cast it. White source. Omniscience is a great card, but we cannot afford it right now. And back streets back, alright. Every time I see shadowy backstreet, all I can think of is, what's up, Korik? How you doing? Yeah, Atraxa is in and of itself great in control match. Oh yeah, the uncounterable land is great in the control style matchups, but we got Golos again. Is this hand good enough? Turn 3 Ristic Study. We have a Supreme Verdict if they get a board presence going. We'll keep it because we have the 2 surveil lands. Hopefully we can surveil into one of our early accelerators. What's more valuable right now, surveilling or getting a 3-color land? I feel like getting a 3 of a color land might be a little bit better. Now we technically have all of our mana on turn 2. Don't need another sweeper. We already have sweeping duties cleaned up if we have Supreme Verdict here. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Yes, I'd like to draw a card. I think it was between Binding the Old Gods and Key to the Archive there. I think this gets us the furthest ahead. It seems our opponent's more interested in playing a ramp game plan than even a 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're verdicting this turn, so just the ability, I think, to surveil with a couple different lands. Yep, Mr. Eye's Village is just a house. Backstreet and Undercity. Start with Key to the City. Deal with this stupid Golos. How many times can you cast it? Many times as you can cast it, we can blast it. Alright, so Take care of that. Gives us access to cruise and grip this thing. Okay, Traxa does Atraxa things. Fairy, solve the equation. Solve the equation. Immersion ultimatum. Our opponent decides that that is good enough. Walk of the Aeons achievement. So I feel like our there's a couple different flavors of Golos. It feels like there's the ramp payoff version, and then the more similar to a Traxa one, where you're kind of like this good stuff deck that also has these like good cards to get into, a la omniscience, etc. So, Tasha, Unholy Archmage. What does this deck do? Put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. Target opponent's card of their choice in the graveyard on the battlefield under your control. That card gains Ward 2. Yuck. Those cards on top of their library. That one's going to be tricky. So, Godless Shrine, Black Market Connections. Pass. Don't realistically know if there's any cards off of this that we can hit. We're losing to that ultimate next turn anyway, which is the only reason we're doing this. coma, so it's not worth it. It's literally what, turn 2 go to 5, turn 3 go to 6, turn 4 ultimate. Yeah, that's just not I think a realistic thing to deal with, but every deck has their nut draws, so and Atraxa on Atraxa Violence. This hand seems fine. We'll keep it. We will grab Breeding Pool, I guess. Yeah, don't really care about that one. Need to get black source, blue source, so maybe Raffine's Tower. So if we do this, that puts us to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To Paradise, that. Sometimes free spells are such a broken part of Magic. Alright, apparently we're just in the ramp bracket this time around. This hand's a little bit too high on the thickness aspect. This hand, the mana is bad. We'll keep this one. Back Mirari's Wake, I think. If they have a turn 1 accelerator here, I think we're in turn 1 black market connections. Nope, solar transformer. Interesting choice. Okay, they get 2 forests. Fortunately, they get to go Golos here, and we're just going to get kind of ran over. Alright, and somehow we miss our land drop. Okay, they're still a long way from casting most of the stuff in their hand, it seems. Okay, black, that. Migration's path. Blue and black. Well, ain't that fun. Card. Warren collects. That's all they got off of it? Okay. I think Warren Clux is pretty close to unbeatable here. Yep, we're not winning this one. Alright. Kingdom Baron. Alright, Siddis versus Sephiroth. This hand's fine. Surveil. It's 2 mana enchantments, or 2 mana ramp is fine. Opponent will probably have something to play here. Sure. All right. Sure. They play their commander. Yep. So they're holding up some type of protection spell, possibly. Blue mana. Suspect Farewell is probably our best tool in the style of matchup. Draw. Paladin class, sure. Definitely would love to draw a go ahead and surveil first. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we go Thoughtseize first. Target creature. One path, Elder Retreat. Do I even care about any of these right now? Alright, well, unfortunately we did not find counterspell. We'll untap, pull up the counter spell. So our opponent can make any type of legendary uncounterable, but they can't make anything else uncounterable. Why is that just resolving? Okay, it's because something here is taxing. Paladin class. Good to know. Go ahead and surveil again. It's again still looking for a sweeper. Tails End's a fine card, but not really. Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, it just continues to draw a bunch of cards. Mm-hmm. Sure. You have a white card in your hand? Oopsie. So 1, 2, 3. We still have access to don't even know what I want to get. If I had Toxic Deluge, this would be so much easier. There's a very good chance we could die this turn. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. Looks like we just died to the 8/8. Bless you. We're just going to get outdrawn like 40 to 1 here. D9 cards to 70. Yeah, we would have been able to find a farewell or a sweeper sooner. We would have been in pretty decent shape, but oh. I think overall, you got a pretty good look of what this variant of Atraxa can do. You know, it's a 4-color deck. You're playing all the good stuff. Some decks go under you, some decks go over the top of you. Kaya, I'm not sure. Not sure how I feel about Kaya. I'll put it back in the deck, obviously, but almost feels like this would have been, I don't even know. Like, but a little bit more colorless, then Ugin would make more sense in this slot. Casualties of War Hats moments. I mean, we have a lot of high-end stuff, but I'm not sure it's the right high-end stuff, if that makes sense. I mean, that last one was Cephas. I mean, we had really River's Rebuke, Farewell, Cyclonic Rift, Supreme Verdict, Wrath of God, Day of Judgment. We had a number of pretty good outs. We just didn't really plus Solve the Equation technically wasn't out with enough mana, but we had to pay for Pact of Negation to keep ourselves alive the previous turn. Maybe, well, actually I think one turn, or what might have actually, now that I was thinking back of our play on, if we wouldn't have Pact of Negation the one mana, whatchamacallit, and say they go after Teferi. Then if we draw Solve the Equation again, then we can solve the equation for probably Farewell at that point and just redonkulously take over the game. So there were different lines we could have taken there. Yeah, this deck is pretty sweet. It obviously has a few weak points, but then again, what commander or brawl deck doesn't? So, yeah, this deck is pretty sweet. And, I mean, most good stuff decks are going to be pretty good for what they are. Bloom Tender, fine card, but Loam Speaker, pretty good ramp spell. Maybe you're better with the Farseek equivalents and such. See, I think Farseek is now, Newfound Adventure is legal. So maybe that's better than like Bloom Tender or Loam Speaker. I like Black Market Connections. We don't have a ton of life gain, but we do obviously have Traxa alone. Really impressed with Mistrise Village. This card was kind of crazy against any of the counterspell decks. So, Tail's End is still a fine-ish card. Obviously, counters like every commander. Counters quite a few important cards in Commander, period. Brawl. Omen Path Journey is fine. Maybe you just want this to be one of your other 4-mana ramp spells. Kind of hard to say. Some of these other ones we didn't see today, but they're obviously all pretty good cards. So, anyways, if you like Brawl content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.